Welcome back to Brands Hatch. It's the LMB Streetfighters on Thundersport GB. Steve?
It's unusual here in the LMB Streetfighters to see a Street Fighter C machine on pole position, but that's what Brad Davey was able to do here. Look at those eyes. He means business. I'll take those off you, Brad, I think. I'm not sure how you're going to get on with that. Second on the grid here, Mick Riddle, Street Fighter B. No Barry Utting here, of course. He is the champion, but he's not here, so Mick Riddle has got the duty of trying to pick up the trophies. And Keith Smith here, number 40, could wrap up the Street Fighter A title. We'll just have to wait and see. Mr. Potato Head will be out there. And always look out for Adam Palfreman, number 64. A full grid of Street Fighters waiting to go, Robin.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And, of course, quite a topsy-turvy grid given the very wet and greasy conditions in qualifying, and that's why you're seeing the Street Fighter C machine on pole position. Of course, when the conditions get lousy, the lack of power the C's have compared to, say, Class A doesn't really show that much, does it, Steve?
No, not at all, and Brad Davey will have his foot cut out into that first corner, and look who's coming through the middle of that lot. It's Smithy that's going to get the whole shot, but Andy Denyer, the Meerkat, slides into second position ahead of Mick Riddle.
Yeah, lovely start from that triumph from the second row, and up in Druids. They charge up the front, as one would expect in these dry conditions. The Street Fighter A machines come into the fore immediately.
Yes, Keith Smith here, number 40 on the Aprilia 200, can wrap up the title. Barry Utting, already a champion before a wheel was turned here at Brands, and Tony Hughes is going to look to get ahead of Brad Davey in Street Fighter C. But there's Smithy ahead of Denyer, then Riddle, Sean Goldsmith, and then Davey.
There you go, and this, of course, it's a unique sight, really, in track racing, isn't it, Steve? These sit-up-and-beg machines, the so-called naked bikes without fairings, the supermoto machinery in particular. There's no other home for it other than this LMB Street Fighter series, and it does bring a wonderful addition to the ordinary racing profile that spectators see.
Yeah, it's something just a little bit different from the ordinary, and you won't see him at very many other clubs, but that's a great overtaker manoeuvre there from Andy Denyer. If anyone should know his way around Brands Hatch, it will be Andy Denyer, number 33. He goes up the inside of Keith Smith. Smithy will be conscious, of course, that he just needs to finish, really, to be crowned the Street Fighter A champion at long last. Denyer, of course, won the series back in '09. Jamie Wilkins, the man with the green spotted helmet, won it last year. So Smithy just needs a few more points.
Excellent ride at the moment from Mick Riddle in third place. He's on a Street Fighter B machine. As you mentioned, Barry Utting already crowned the 2011 Street Fighter B champion, not here this weekend. And Mick Riddle absolutely reveling in this. He's on the pace of the A-class machines. Of course, he hasn't been able to, because of his work with the RAF, he hasn't been able to take part in all the rounds this year.
No, he's not, but he's got a good chance of finishing up in the top two if he completes the rest of the series. Of course, that depends on whether he gets called out again. But yeah, Mick's doing a good job of keeping up with these two. Of course, A, B and C classes separated by engine size, so he shouldn't necessarily be able to lap as quickly as Denyer here and Keith Smith, but he's got Sean Goldsmith just behind him, who's looking to try and get third.
Yes, there's all sorts of battles as well. We've seen Mick Riddle right up there in third place, leading Class B, but Dave Portman is putting in some good times further back. He's second in Class B at the moment. There's a great bun fight going on involving, well, all sorts at the moment, but certainly Rob Garland I've seen go through there. Rob, who has one of those exotic hairstyles in under a crash at that I don't think anybody's ever had, and he's running well, third placed in Class B at the moment.
There's Rob Pragnell, number 98, just ahead of Gary Coombs, who returns to the series after missing a round, and also number 54, that's Brent Millage. Yes, well, as you said, Rob Garland, best haircut in the paddock, joined with Sean Goldsmith, biggest smile in the paddock, and Keith Smith, shortest man in the paddock. So we've got all sorts of mixes and matches in the Street Fighter.
At the moment, up the front, this lovely head-to-head between Andy Denyer, 33, 40, Keith Smith. They are at the top of the field and top of Class A. There's Adam Portman, number 64, second in Class B at the moment, and just behind him is 35, Tony Hughes, who leads Class C.
Yeah, Mr. Punch going well, Tony Hughes. He will be able to wrap up this series at Alton Park, and I'm sure he'd like to do that. That would be considered as his local round.
Yeah, not too many miles from home as far as he's concerned, and down from as they charge. Smithy looking very, very keen over the last couple of laps, just closing in on Andy Denyer. He'll have him if he can, but at the moment trying to keep things sane and sensible because they've got a bit of traffic to deal with.
Yes, they have. Just trying to go either side of Andy Castle at the moment, and that's worked out rather well for Andy Denyer as they peel off another lap. Number 33 crosses the line again.
Just behind him, Mick Riddle about to be pounced on, I think, by Sean Goldsmith. Sean on the third Class A machine up the front end, and I think he just about now got the legs of Mick Riddle. Yes, Sean up into third, so a 1, 2, 3 of Class A machinery, and then Mick Riddle now the leading Class B runner in fourth.
Oh, Andy Denyer trying to pick his way through the traffic and up into Surtees again. It's worked out better for Denyer. Keith Smith's able to get the grunt out of the corners, of course, on that Aprilia 2.0, but he's not quite as late on the brakes as Denyer here at Brands.
Andy Denyer is very precise when he's lapping, isn't he? He makes a very quick decision and just goes for it, and it served him well season on season. Across the line he goes now in a slightly more extended lead as the last lap flag is shown.
Yeah, there's absolutely no hesitance when Denyer's going to pick a move to lap some riders. Well, there's Andy Driver and Martin Jarvis having a good battle there.
Yeah, Andy Driver, who is the proud owner of one of the finest motorhomes in the paddock. It's well worth going to visit. We're going to be up at Alton Park in a couple of weeks, or Mallory Park a couple of weeks after. There's Andy Denyer in the lead, round the outside of Clearways. Just a few hundred metres to go now to the finish line. It's been an immaculate race as far as he's concerned, and he takes a very good win here at Brands Hatch, followed by Smithy. Keith Smith crossing in second, and is that enough for the championship, Steve?
Looking at the points, yes he is. Yeah, Smithy is crowned champion.
There's Andy Denyer, the winner. From Keith Smith, Sean Goldsmith third, Mick Riddle fourth and winning Class B, Adam Portman fifth, and Tony Hughes in sixth and winning Class C. On the podium then, grins all round, Andy Denyer, Keith Smith and Sean Goldsmith. And in Street Fighter B, well, Mick Riddle taking the win from Adam Portman and Rob Garland. And the sane and sensible lot in Class C, Tony Hughes from Brad Davey and Duncan McMillan.
Winner of LMB Street Fighter C, Tony Hughes, or Dame Edna Everidge, whatever you prefer. A great result there.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Really hot racing, and I didn't think I was going to get the bike here, but I've got to thank Gary Coombs at Sparkrite Racing and Race Engineering for actually getting me bike here for this weekend. And it's been absolutely brilliant. The bike's been fantastic.
Well done to you, Tony. We're going to move on now to Mick Riddle. Mick, Street Fighter B win. No Barry Utting here, which is a shame, but hey, you'll take all the points.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's good to mix with the guys on the A bikes.
And back to you, Mick. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's always great to mix with all the A bikes and have a little battle. Shame Barry's not here though. I know he'll be back for Alton Park anyway.
Anyone to thank?
Yeah, can I say thank Christine from Cougar Leathers, the RAF Motorsports Association, and my wife Tori for all her help as well.
Well done to you, Mick. Move on to Keith Smith. We don't normally grab second place in a race, but you're the new champion, Keith, so you must be delighted.
Yeah, it's been a great season. Worked really hard to be champion this year, but obviously Andy's got better of me today. There's no what I can do about that, but I'm going to have a go in last race.
People to thank?
Yeah, a couple of mates of mine, Rob and Steve at Trimesh, bought me a set of tyres for the weekend, so a big thank you to them.
Well done, Keith, and we'll look out for you again next year. And now we move on to race winner Andy Denyer. Andy, well, you made it tough for Keith. He's got the championship anyway, but a good win for you.
Yeah, I was riding well with him myself. But if he goes past me, I'll ride a bit faster.
You got anyone to thank at all, Andy?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Terry Everest, Nick and Alistair Wright. My dad's finally pitched up and watched me though. I'm quite pleased I got a win for him.
Well done to you. We'll see you for the next one.
Thanks a lot.